So do you believe in that Bonnie and Clyde shit? Like, that's my ride or die. We will go to jail together. Would you go to... Matter of fact, would you go to jail for a man?
My West Indian parents are watching. I can't answer that, Bree. Would you go to jail for a man?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I love my life. I love free. I love my life. That's the song. Because no, would you go to jail?
We hope you got your drinks ready. I sure do, because we're about to be unapologetic as fuck this weekend. I'm your co-host Ash,
and I'm Bree, and this is episode 3. First things first, we always check in with each other, and that segment of our podcast is called Mood as Fuck. So, bro, Ash, how are you feeling? What are you sipping on? What's going through your mind? What's up?
So, I'm a little tipsy right now, so there's nothing going on in my mind. But, these last 2 weeks, I haven't been feeling well. So today's the first day that I feel like, I would say like probably 7 out of 10. So I'm like thankful for that. I'm feeling good. I was like, you know what? What better way to celebrate than to get motherfucking lit? Okay. I know that's right. So I'm just, chilling, having a good day. I took it easy, was semi-productive, applied to jobs and shit like that. What about you, Bree?
Wait, hold on, but what you sipping on, though?
Oh, shit.
Because she's sipping.
Well, we ain't got no endorsement yet, so I'm not going to say exactly what I'm sipping on, but if you know me, you know what I'm sipping on. It's some brown shit, and, well, not brown shit, but, some brown liquor. It's some brown liquor with strawberry peach juice. Okay.
Period.
Yeah. So, Bree, what are you sipping on? Oh, shit. Bree, what are you sipping on and how are you?
Well, I'm not really sipping on anything right now because a friend came to visit me this month and she's here. Yeah. So, I'm not feeling that great. But honestly, my week has been up and down. Like, a couple of days out of the week, I cried due to some personal stuff happening. And then, I also had a really good moment yesterday. Today's Thursday, right? I had a good moment yesterday. It was super warm. We love when New York City gets warm after, cold spells. So I've been having an up and down kind of week. But I guess, that's life. It fluctuates. So
that is true.
Period. But that was my week, though. Yeah. And how I'm feeling. I'm feeling good. No cramps.
That's good.
Don't we love that?
We love that for you. We do.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, we're some well-rounded hoes, and we want to keep you guys up to date. So that's why we have our Current AFK segment, also known as our Current as Fuck segment. So, we'll be talking to you about different things, whether that be celebrity gossip, some weird-ass tweets that niggas be tweeting, and politics, okay? So the first thing that we wanted to start off with for our Current as Fuck segment, let's take a moment of silence. But it's for Yandy MNDC's baby. Because
hold on. Y'all saw that clip?
No. Let's really get into it.
Yeah.
Let's peel the layers of this shit. Okay?
What happened in the clip?
If you guys haven't seen it, long story short, Yandy MNDC's were on a couples therapy, couples retreat shit. Right? And they were talking about issues that they were having in their relationship. So Mendices was complaining about Yandy not responding to his calls and emails when he wanted her to, basically, or not all the time. And he felt like he was being put up on a shelf. And Yandy kept saying that, he kept mentioning, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this, blah, blah, blah. And the question came up, the big motherfucking question. If roles were reversed, would you do that for me? So would you believe that this nigga said, I don't know?
Ghetto. Real life ghetto. Bro, what would you do if you were in that situation?
Bro,
if you told your boyfriend, would you hold it down for me if I was to go to jail? For you, or for any reason? And he said, nah, I don't think so. What would you do?
Nah, I would be tight. And okay, you know what? I'm going to say this. They were on TV. They know niggas are watching them. Bro, if you don't have enough respect for me to lie through your teeth, to lie through your motherfucking teeth, you don't respect me at all. Because it's I'm not going to get arrested. So you could have just kept that to yourself, could have kept that in the drafts, but we're on TV and you literally said, I don't know. I need you to come a little better than that. But in real life, I don't think that like, even if you have like a solid partner, not everybody is papoose, baby. Not everybody's papoose. Like, after a while, time gets to you, and I do not think that, like, I don't think he was necessarily unreasonable, but it's just like you admitted it. You fucking admitted it.
My whole thing is women are the first ones to hold men down in
Not
any
me, baby.
situation.
So sorry, but go ahead. So sorry.
Her man is here too. But in any situation, women are always the first one to hold men down.
Right.
And like, I feel like men don't do the same.
And that's
with
why,
women.
but that's why I say not me, because like, God forbid I get arrested and you go and cheat on me. Or like, let's say you go get arrested first. I'm just saying, God forbid. And I hold you down for 10 years. Now, let's say I get arrested for like a year. You're not going to wait for me, because I just feel like you're going to get horny and you're going to be like, nah, my girlfriend's not here. My wife is not here. And it sounds
Will you jerk
sad.
off
It sounds,
for all those times that I'm away?
And it sounds sad to say, but I just don't have that much faith in niggas. And I love my boyfriend to death, but I just don't think that. I don't think that niggas would do that. He says he would, but I just don't believe him. I don't believe him.
So do you believe in that Bonnie and Clyde shit? Like, that's my ride or die. We will go to jail together. Would you go to? Matter of fact, would you go to jail for a man?
My West Indian parents are watching. I can't answer that, Bree. Would you go to jail for a man?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I love my life. I love my life. That's the song. Because no, would you go to jail for me? First of all, I'm not even the type to even deal with people who go to jail.
Right. That's the
to be honest,
honey.
To be honest, like, as much as I want to dibble and dab into hood men, like, I don't.
I'm good, baby. That's why
I low-key want to, though.
No, like, I'm good. Like, my nigga, like, you know, he's tough and shit like that, but he's not doing none of that shit, and I'm good. Like, I'm very thankful, because I don't have the heart to stomach my boyfriend or my husband like being arrested or any of that.
Yeah.
Like, honestly speaking, I'm sure I would hold him down. I would do anything for my boyfriend. We've been together long enough that I know that he's the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. But like, it's just a lot to think about. So I'm like, I'll pass. Like, I don't want a hood nigga, because I don't want that. Thankfully, he's not like that. But
I may dibble and dab. But you know what's so funny?
You should, as you should.
As I should, right? But
there's
a tweet, right? That's so funny. This person posted, Yandy got sprayed in the eyes. Yandy got sprayed in the eyes with mace while boycotting in front of the jail. Man DC, not even men DC, but man DC. Yo. Was fighting for prison reform. was fighting for prison reform. Nigga comes home and says he wouldn't hold her down if the roles were reversed. I put crack in his wallet and called the police on him.
And I do not blame her. Not one bit. Not one bit. But that's what I'm saying. I just feel like it's funny, because my boyfriend and I were literally having this conversation last night where we talked about like doing things for each other and like what our, you know, like when we get married, what our relationship would look like. And we were talking about like doing things for the other person. Like, you know, would you treat me nice and be kind to me, or like do things that you know would make my life easier? And we were talking about like, would you do it just because you want me to do it for you, or would you do it out of the goodness of your heart? And I'm the person where I would do anything. Like, I am that person. I'm very giving, very loving, but I just feel like so many times it's not about what you would do for me. Like, you don't have to do the same exact thing for me, but what are you going to do for me? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that tweet said, she's out there fighting for you. She couldn't answer your phone calls, baby, because she was getting maced. And
that whole relationship has been rocky.
And for you to say, I do not know on TV, bro, embarrassment is like a big thing to me.
Men are
and
very
I just
embarrassing.
Feel like you embarrassing me, I would leave you right on the spot. I would leave the couples retreat like, we're fucking done here. We're fucking done here.
Bro, that's what people say, that men are embarrassing. Like, they should be left enclosed. Okay. Are you not embarrassed?
Yes. For her, on her behalf. Because when I first saw it, like, you know, they tweeted about it. I was like, nah, he couldn't have said that. Maybe they like twisted his words. But he really said, I don't know. And I was just like,
I don't know.
Okay, you're that type of nigga.
He also doesn't seem like he cares about her. Like, he doesn't seem like he's in love with her anymore either. Like, it's just, They're
Niggas
together.
be cheating in prison, and I'm not talking about like even with the like the other stuff that be going on. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about niggas would like cheat with their other baby moms on you while in prison, and it's just like, but I was here holding you down.
Oh my gosh, that is true.
Right.
That's ghetto. That's ghetto. But enough of that dustiness because it was so dusty. Another current event that's happening right now is the CDC has uplifted or lifted upon some restrictions. People who are fully vaccinated, they don't have to wear a mask outside. Hot ass mess. Because how you gonna know if people are vaccinated or not?
The ghetto.
Right. Also, May 17th, 12 a.m. outdoor dining curfew will be also lifted. Period. We out.
The streets is calling my name. The streets is calling my name. The streets is calling my name. And that doesn't mean you have to be a hoe. If you want to be a hoe, be a hoe. But that just means that I'm outside and my boyfriend's coming to pick me up after.
I'm outside having a spiritual, loving, fun, free-spirited summer.
The point is that we motherfucking lit. Okay, baby.
Period. I know that's right. Also, 12 a.m. indoor area curfew for bars and restaurants will also... I said that's pretty redundant, but will be lifted May 31st. So, another thing, Mayor de Blasio said that the city of New York, because that's where we at, will be fully opened July 1st. So, right in time for great weather.
We outside.
We're outside. Right in time for everything.
After we get vaccinated. Well, I'm getting vaccinated. I'm not sure if Bree is, and I don't want to push that on her.
Wait, when?
I said I haven't made an appointment yet, but I do want to get vaccinated.
Damn, I feel left out. I mean, I'll do it at some point, but I don't know when. Yeah. So
we don't have to talk about that now. We can talk about that off camera.
Facts. Okay. So yeah, we about to be outside, but let's get into our topic of the episode, which is comparison. And I've been wanting to talk about this because this past week this week I've been comparing myself a lot to like my friends, some of my coworkers, people on social media, in all aspects of my life. And I just feel like a lot of my other peers and friends also compare themselves and a whole bunch of other people. So I thought it was like a good time to talk about that. So first things first, I want to talk about how I've compared myself to others. And like I said, I'd be comparing myself to like, when I say friends, I mean like just like sometimes when I see them in relationships and I'm like, dang, I'm still single. Matter of fact, have you ever seen people on Facebook, or not even people, but like old friends from high school, even college, who are now married and have a house and have kids
and engaged, or like even have like really good jobs where they're able to like, live their best life. And I'm like, but me,
right? I'm like, and it's not like I don't want other people to have those things, but I'm trying to be up too. Like, what's the word? And I think we tend to compare ourselves to a lot of people because we see that their track is faster than us, or where they are in life is better than us. But I think we also have to take a step back and say that our journey is different than theirs. Yeah. So I was also thinking too, have you ever posted a picture on Instagram and because you didn't get enough likes, you archived it?
So I have not done that, only because I don't have a lot of followers like on Instagram and stuff like that. I, for the most part, can be like very reserved, or like not reserved, like, conservative as shit, just more so like I stay to myself a lot. So I don't like post pictures and things like that very often. And I don't have like a lot of followers. So I feel like I'm never worried about that because like what? Right. Like nobody's gonna like my shit anyway. Like I already know. Right. But one thing I will say is that the comparison game came into play when I wanted to start different projects. So like, we just started this podcast, and then eventually there will be other projects where I would like have to create a following. And it's easier when you already have a certain amount of followers, So like if you have like 5K people following you on Instagram and you're like, hey, check out my podcast, you're kind of like already up there, like people will be listening. But when you have like 200 followers and you're like, yeah, listen to my podcast, like
Yeah, it makes
50
things
out of those
intimidating.
200 people, you know, and I always worry about like, do I have the personality to do these things? Because I'm always I'm worried about my following in that sense. Like, I know I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram now. So why do I think that when I have a podcast, it's going to blow up and I'm going to have a whole bunch of followers and that's where my comparison like usually comes into play.
Dang.
But have you done that?
Yes, I have. Oh my gosh. I've posted a picture before, and if I don't, when I didn't have as many followers, I used to get below 200 likes, and it was like whatever. But ever since I started getting 200, 300 likes, if I get a picture, or if I post a picture and the likes is below the count of 200, I'm archiving it.
Really?
And that's crazy, right? Because I don't know, it's like a comparison to when I see other people and they have like 500, 600 likes, 800 likes, and sometimes the pictures be boring as hell, like really lame, no shade, no tea. But like, it's just, I'm like, dang, like why
did I get that?
Yeah, or get shown that love, but. At this point, who really cares? This year, I've been starting to just post for myself and do what I want to do, and who cares if I get likes or not. Right. But have y'all ever posted a picture? I'm asking this to the audience. Like, you can email us, DM us your answers. Archive a picture and you didn't get enough likes. I feel like a lot of people have done that before.
I'm sure.
Or do you feel self-conscious when you don't get enough likes?
Yeah.
Because I would be like, dang, like, was that picture not cute? Was it not fire? But it honestly doesn't matter.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that you mentioned like comparison and things like that. So like we're talking about comparison in social media, and like, yes, I've touched base on that. But I think the most I've compared myself with is, like we said, you know, when you look at other people that are our age and they're doing well for themselves and you're like, well, I'm not there yet. And it's not from a jealousy aspect or a standpoint where I'm like, you don't deserve that. It's just like, yo, like, it makes me reflect on myself. And I'm like, I need to work harder, because it's not like I know that these people who are like doing YouTube and shit like that, it's not like they sat on their ass. YouTube is hard work. So it's like, even if you think that people are just doing fuckery, like, they're not. They're taking time out of their day to constantly like post and do these things or create content. Or like if they have a 9-to-5 that pays well, they're taking the time to invest in themselves in that way. And that's where my comparison has usually come in, where I'm like, yo, like, I am 24 and I see, especially now, a lot of people our age are like doing well for themselves. Like you said, getting married, they have a house.
It's the marriage for me.
Yeah, or like they have good jobs, and I'm like, yo, like, I need to work harder.
Funny thing is, I thought I was going to be married at the age of 25. And I'm not.
Let's take a moment
23.
and laugh at that, only because like I felt that way as well. Like my outlook on life was that I was going to be an attorney and I was going to be engaged by now, and then I would be married like probably around like 26 or so, and then I would like spend 2 years with my husband, and then we would have kids and like all that shit. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where life is headed right now. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know where life is headed right now, but every day I just have vowed to myself that I'm just gonna work hard. And some days it's really difficult, but like, I really want to work hard. So that's where I think that comparison like usually comes in for me.
Right. I wonder if, you know, I also think is based upon that when we're younger, our parents are telling us that we have to, or not even our parents alone, but society is telling us that we have to reach certain milestones at certain ages. So with our parents, they got married young, they got pregnant, they had kids very young. And a lot of young kids look up at adults and be like, I want to be able to get married at this time in my life. I want to be able to have kids at this time in my life, because it's seen as like something that's normalized. Right. And I feel like as our generations, or as each generation is coming up now, we're changing that whole dynamic of reaching certain milestones at certain ages. Yeah.
Even like you said, like having kids and getting married, I feel like that age has been pushed back. Like, yes, our parents got married young and had kids young, but a lot of people now, like, they're getting pregnant, or like they're, you know, having children and getting married like older. Like, there's this YouTuber who's like just having her first pregnancy at 39, and you know, like, it's just like Maya, Shameless Maya. So, you know, there are YouTubers or like people that are getting married older opposed to like, you know, our parents' generation who were used to like getting married younger and having kids younger. So I feel like a lot of the time that gives me encouragement because even like with, you know, YouTubers like Jackie Aina or Makeup Shayla, like Jackie Aina's engaged now, Makeup Shayla like just got married, and even Jackie Aina's like story of how I think she took about like 10 years before she like really got to where she wanted to be financially with YouTube and stuff like that. And there are people our age who are doing well, but then it's just a true it's just like a visual representation of like your time is your time.
That is a fact. I know a lot of people tend to compare themselves when they see others get a new car, a new house. I was speaking to my friends about this, and I was telling one of my friends that I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be because she went to get her master's at a university, and I was like, dang, I probably should have gotten my master's.
Right.
But that wasn't my plan for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just more so that I was comparing myself because I saw that she was going. She seemed like she knew what she wanted and where she was going. And there have been moments where I felt very lost. So with feeling lost, I feel as though I haven't reached any major milestones in life. You know what I mean? And while others are looking at me like, oh, she has a car, she's doing this, she started a podcast. What am I doing with my life? What have I reached? Where have I been? Where have I gone? And it's just like, everyone's comparing each other.
Yes.
Or comparing themselves to each other, you know?
Right. Yeah. And it's true because even when you say that, like, that's so true.
Yeah.
And I always feel like you said, like, I feel like I'm not doing anything. Like, yeah, I have a car or I just got a car, but like, I still feel like I'm not where I want to be. You know, like there are certain things that I wanted for myself that I'm now trying to put in place. But I've always said, like, you know, there are goals that I want that I don't even want to speak about right now. But I'm like, yo, like I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. And here I am, like, again, saying I want to do this and I want to do that, and I haven't accomplished it yet. And it's hard, I feel like, to reflect on the good that you have when you feel like you're not doing it right. So, like, you know, I got my license and I got a car, and that's a good thing. And so did you. But then it's like, I don't have the job that I want, or I'm not where I want to be financially. Like I said that when I was 20, like last year, I said that was the last time I'd feel that way. Yeah. And I would, you know, be able to go on vacations, and I'm going to go on vacations, yes, but not in the way that I want to.
Oh my gosh, I used to compare myself too with others when they used to go on vacation. And I'm like, dang, they're traveling the world. I want to travel the world. Like what's stopping me from traveling the world? Usually it'd be like something financial. Yeah. But I would compare myself to other people in that aspect too, which is like super crazy. And it truly sucks when you have a goal in mind and you don't accomplish it. That's when you go down the rabbit hole of thoughts and comparison. And I truly believe that comparison is a thief of joy. Yeah. And it's easier said than done to say, like, I'm not going to compare myself, or you don't need to compare yourself. But we don't have compassion for ourselves. And I think it's important for us to start gaining compassion for ourselves. Also, with comparison, do you feel like there's comparison in friend groups with women and even men? Yeah. I think so. I wouldn't waste my time comparing myself. Like, that's just how my mind is. Like, I'm not going to stress myself out over that because to me, it's not a possibility. So, like, I feel like you already exited out that yeah. So like, you know, same thing. Instagram followers, I have like 200. Why am I going to compare myself to someone who has 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000? I'm not even going to compare myself in that sense because like they're not even looking at me. That's good though. You're like protecting yourself subconsciously. Yeah. Because I told you I have two emotions. Yeah, either I'm overthinking or I'm not thinking at all. There's no gray area. My black and white. Says that we need to mellow out the anxiety. She says either we need to bring it up or bring it down. There's like no in between. So that's what I feel. But have you ever been in a space and you felt like other people, like guys were approaching your friends and not you, and not in the way that you wanted them to? Okay, so for that, or maybe I would you were the friend that they were approaching. So there has been times where I was the friend where like guys, I was actually speaking to one of my friends, and I was telling her how I felt about a certain situation, and she was just like, you know, that's how I felt with you when we went on a trip together.
Right.
We had went to Miami for spring break, and she was just telling me that, like, she felt like a lot of the men were coming to me and they weren't going to her. So, like, and I didn't know, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I didn't know until she told me that. But, like, in her head, like, she was comparing herself to me, wondering why guys are coming to me. And guys were going to her too, but I guess, like, the way they were coming to me or whatever the case may be. And I also have been a person in a space where I would see my friends dealing with men or, like, going on dates with guys and relationships, and I'll be the one single. Right. And I'm single by choice, but it's also like men will come to me on some sexual shit. Right. I don't know if I have sex with me on my forehead. Don't get me wrong, your girl's a freak league. I like, you know, but to a specific person. Like, I'm not that's not how I'm built. You feel me?
You want a connection first, and then you want to fuck.
Exactly. Exactly. Sorry. Exactly.
You want to fuck, but just when.
But exactly. But also, I also don't like when men try to, like, bring sexual activity to me off rip too.
Yeah,
that's
such a
ghetto. Don't do that. Yeah. But so I did compare myself to friends in that space where I was just like, dang, some of my friends are dating, they're in relationships, and here I am single, and guys just only want to have sex with me. Like, I feel like I am worthy enough to have those type of connections with people. I'm not a type of person that's only supposed to just have sex. First of all.
Do you think that, you know, because we kind of talked about this, and it's like, this is perception. This is how niggas view, like, niggas look at you. But, like, do you think that it's the niggas? Do you ever feel like it's the guys that you're talking to and not you? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so it's not your fault. It's not like, you know, even
men that I don't try to talk to.
Right.
You feel me? They come to me on some
niggas are naturally
shit.
horny, and that's not an excuse.
But that's not how you approach someone.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how they're gonna look at themselves internally.
Right.
You feel me? Like, like.
But I'm saying, do you ever feel like it's a reflection of them and not you?
I haven't thought about that, but, like, when you put it like that, it could be. Yeah. Because I usually when they do that to me, I'm just like, dang, like, do I give off the sense that I want to have sex? Do I give off the perception that I don't want anything with any guy and, like, I just want to have sex and I don't want a relationship or a connection?
No, it's these niggas.
Yeah, that's a fact. They're embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
Right.
But yeah,
I've been in a space like that with friends in that aspect. And it's never on no jealousy shit. It's more so because I want them to be happy and I want them to be, like, dating and having a good time. But it's also like, I want that for myself too. Matter of fact, I have been on dates. I'm always dating. There isn't a time where I'm not dating, but it's the way, like, the men are with me. Like, I'm just like, okay, why am I getting these type of men? And I don't think it's the men that I'm attracting either, because I'm very open-minded when it comes to men. Yeah. Only preference I have is shortness. I don't date short men. Right. That is the only thing. Matter of fact, there's more, but I can't think of it on the top of my head. But that's, like, one of the preferences that comes to mind. But I'm very open when it comes to dating. So I be confused when they be coming to me sexually off rip.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I think that niggas just be trying it. They just be trying to see where they could go. And then when you're like, no, like, I'm not like that. Then they're like, okay, let me step back and shit like that. But I don't think I honestly do not think it's a reflection on you. I think it's a reflection on the niggas. Like you said, if you're chilling, how the fuck would they, like, feel comfortable to approach
I must
you?
have a
I think they're just bold. Like, I think that niggas are just bold. Somebody said that niggas only have two things to offer: dick and audacity, and I think that is very true.
Very true.
So
I was dating this guy for a couple of months. Yeah, I was like a couple of months, because a couple is two. So I was dating this guy, and each time he would go on a date, he would try to kiss me, and he was like, "Can I get a kiss?" And I was like, "No." And we went on. How many dates we went on? We went on 2 dates, but we were texting each other. We were, like, really getting to know each other. But like, each date he wanted a kiss.
What made you not want to kiss him?
I just don't get down like that. I don't know where your lips been. I just, not even where your lips been. Because that's some childish, something that, like, childish would say, like a childish person would say. But I just don't get down like that. Like, I don't kiss on the first date. I don't know if it's an internal rule that I made for myself, but I just don't kiss on the first date.
So, like, do you associate it with, like, cleanliness?
Yes.
Okay.
It all depends, actually, because I have kissed on the first date.
So it's a chemistry thing then.
Maybe it's a chemistry thing.
Right.
Because if I'm really feeling you and you like, come give me a kiss, I'm like, all right.
Right.
Okay, so...
So then it would be
not
like
to
a
contradict
thing.
myself. So maybe it's a chemistry thing. But at the same point, so to finish what I was trying to say.
Sorry.
No, not at all. To finish what I was trying to say, like he was just like, I can tell that because I wouldn't kiss him. He was like, I can tell that you were a tough cookie to crack.
And here they go with the audacity and the dick.
Or like you're
what the fuck?
Like either he said you're a tough cookie to crack, or he said like you're hard to get, or you play like not play hard to get, but you're hard.
I just feel like that's just rapey. Like I'm so sorry.
Nah, he was cool, but like it's just what you trying to say. Exactly. Like if I don't want to kiss you, I don't want to kiss you, and vice versa. If I was to ask him, can I get a kiss, and he didn't want to kiss me, like. What if you just didn't feel like kissing?
Yeah. Niggas just are like, I feel like the thing that's most important to them is their ego.
Yeah.
So it's like once you bruise that, it's like, it's just over. So I think that's what it was. He was saying you're a tough cookie to crack because you were hurting his ego.
I did not kiss him. He was like, maybe I can get another kiss on the second day. I did not kiss him on the second day either.
Did you ever kiss him or no?
I gave him a kiss on the cheek.
Okay.
And he came from Jersey to see me too. Took the train and everything.
It's okay.
He took the train.
We went to New Jersey Transit.
Yes. We went to a fancy ass restaurant too. We went to a fancy restaurant.
Isn't that the nigga that you went bowling with?
Yes.
Oh shit.
See, that's why the man gotta be so bright. That man took the transit.
Nobody told him to take the
Risk his life across the bridge.
He wanted to see me. First of all, that's not true because he drove the first time. Matter of fact, the first day I drove to Jersey.
Yeah.
So, right, exactly. I drove to Jersey.
He didn't deserve no kiss that time.
It was reciprocation. So it wasn't like he was only coming to me. I drove to Jersey on our first date.
And the second time he took the transit or he drove?
Because there was a snowstorm. And I feel like, I think something happened to his car. So that's why he took the New Jersey Transit over to me.
Listen, if you don't have a car, that's your business. We're not shaming anybody who don't have cars. So, snow or not, it's all good.
That man came through a snowstorm.
I'm about to say.
On the chin.
Couldn't even get a little peck on the lip.
We weren't compatible though. Like I just felt like I didn't have a true connection with him, and it was hard for me to talk to him. There were so many things with that, but I don't know. Like
I have so many questions because I'm trying to think of like the stories that you've been telling me, but we're gonna talk about it after.
But yeah, in that type of space, I felt like I compared myself to my friends when it came to like the men that they date. But again, like as of now, I've been going to therapy. I've been working on myself, working self-growth, self-healing to really, not suppress those thoughts, but like crush them and throw them out into the garbage.
Right.
And
you feel them and then you let them go.
That's exactly what my therapist be saying, girl.
Well, ironically, Bree is the one who got me like into this. Well, I don't know what you call it, therapy company.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say therapy company.
So, I guess our therapists be saying the same thing.
That's so funny. But yeah, I feel the emotions, and then I'm just like, okay. And then I think, why do I feel that way? And now it's just, I don't even care.
Right.
I don't even care. I be dating and just don't come to me on no sexual shit though.
Yeah.
Off rip. Unless I pursue that. Unless I'm like, let's do that. If I come to you and I'm just like, let's be FWBs, or if I come to you like that, but off rip, don't come to me like that.
Yeah, I think
don't like
just
that.
Needs to know there's a time and a place. Like just feel it out first.
Hold your limit.
Yeah.
Mad funny. But yeah, that's so funny.
So Bree, like, okay, we talked about like friends, and you said that you usually compare yourself to friends when you think about like how niggas approach them. But like, there are other aspects of life. So like, what about work? Do you ever compare yourself to your coworkers?
To an extent, I have. And that's just because I feel as though like the work that I produce sometimes isn't good enough for my manager compared to my other coworkers. And that's just because I've been going through some personal problems at work or personal issues at work. But I don't know. I feel like my manager be making it seem like the work that I produce is not that great. You know what I mean? So I compare myself in that where I'm just like, dang, like my other coworkers. Also, when my coworkers get promotions, I'm like, so I'm not good enough to get a promotion? Or when they get a raise, just like, well, I wouldn't know about if they get a raise or not because that's not disclosed information.
Right.
But when they get a promotion, it's just like, okay. Like I've been working here for X amount of years. You don't think I'm worthy enough, but that also goes into certain stuff that's been happening at my job. But I have compared myself in that way.
Do you feel like that has like affected your work or like the effort that you put in when you see like other people getting promotions and you're not? Or do you feel like it's a reflection on you?
I'm not really truly a big fan of my job right now. So I just keep the same work pace because it's just like I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not I'm on the self-growth journey, self-healing journey. So I don't really try to watch people anymore. But I just continue to do what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna get my flowers in due time.
Right.
So has that happened to you though?
Yeah. So, my first real job was when I was working at this firm, and it was a small firm. So there wasn't a lot of people to compare yourself to. But I think that I compared myself in terms of salary and probably not to my coworkers, but to other people that were around me. Like always questioning if I was like making enough. I knew that I was I was working my ass off, but I always felt like comparison in the sense of like, am I getting paid enough? So like the one friend that I truly made there, she was an attorney. I was a paralegal. Fine. But at the same time, I always worried like, I knew she, like, for example, she had negotiated her contract. Like, she was just like me, had no experience in the field, but she still was able to, like, negotiate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
and
she was given the role to negotiate, but were you given the
It's possible that I was, but I didn't take it. And I think that was where my comparison came in. My mother told me, like, my mom, she's a firm believer in that. She works in the field. She doesn't work in the legal field, but she works in the field of payment and payroll. So she was just like, yo, like, when you get this job, like, you better negotiate. But they treated me like shit from the beginning, and I wish that I recognized that. And like I said, that was where I compared myself to my friend, or my coworker, I should say. She was able to negotiate. She was seen as like, wow, this person is great. But like for me, it was like, oh, you're here on like a 30-day trial period. We're going to start you at this. And then like even when they had hired me, they only gave me like $1,000 more. And I knew I was being lowballed, but I don't know why I could not fucking speak up for myself. So like I compared myself in like my confidence. Yeah. Like I wish that I had the confidence to do what I was doing. I believe that she deserved to be paid more, and I definitely deserved that I deserved to be paid more than what I was getting. And she told me that all the time. She was like, Ash, like, you should be paid fucking more. Like, you do all this work and you're never...
I know a lot of people can attest
you're underpaid. To this. So that was where comparison came in for me. And, like, there are, you guys, like, if anybody who knows me knows the horrible shit show that I went through at that old firm, which the stories will come out. But it was just, like, it was a very frustrating time. Yeah. It was a learning experience, but it was frustrating. So I think that was like the time that I would say I compared myself to my coworker.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people in our audience can attest to that. So my best friend, she does amazing work at her job, and they don't treat her the way they should. Like they lowball her, they let her do, like they make her do other people's work sometimes, and it's just like why would you do that? Right. You know what I mean? Right. I lost my train of thought. That's why.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, but like, okay, in regards to your best friend. So again, we're talking about comparison. So she was doing other people's work, and does she get paid well? No. No. Right?
No. She don't get paid what she's worth.
And that's fucking sad. Mm-hmm. That is fucking sad.
It is. So. It is. I feel like your boss is audacious, though.
The story
Her
is about to come out because I'm ready to tell my truth.
Tell it. Tell the truth.
I'm ready to tell my fucking truth. Like, from that nigga saying that he knew he lowballed me. And yo, there were so many times that I sat there like a fucking idiot. But no, like, yeah, that nigga lowballed me from the jump and he admitted it. And then, like, when he gave me a raise and it still wasn't a substantial raise and was like, oh, I feel better now. Like, it was a whole bunch of shit.
Wait, he feel better now?
He feel better now.
Oh, wow.
There are so many things that I can talk about when it comes to this nigga. Like, I'm thankful nonetheless for the experience, for the job, for the trauma, because it makes me realize I would never go through that shit again. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, yeah, those stories will come. It's not necessary for episode 3.
Talking about work, my manager has compared me to my other coworkers.
Really?
Yeah, but in a indirect way. What she does or what they do, I already said is her pronoun, but what they would do is they will like put everybody's amount of work that they've done within the chat so everybody can see how much work has been done. And like if you're in the red, it's shown. If you're in the green, it's shown. And I don't like that. Like it makes people, one, compare themselves to their coworkers, and two, feel bad about themselves if they don't reach a certain point. Also, that's nobody else's business.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know how old your manager is, but I feel like that's what like older people do, and they find but I still feel like even if they're in their like 40s or 30, like mid 30s to older, I feel like a lot of them just feel like comparison will make you go harder. Like, it's not. Just tell me that you need me to improve. That's it. And that's how I am.
Exactly.
That's how I am. Like, don't fucking compare me, because, bitch, you tried it. You tried it. I'll get a stink ass attitude and then boom, I'll be below red.
Every time she used to do that, and I was like in the red. My attitude would be like, I don't rock with none of y'all. I'm done not talking to none of y'all. Like, I'm just here to do my work. Like, that's it. We're not friends. Y'all just my coworkers. That's it. There's no other relationship other than that. But I don't like when she does that, because it definitely allows people to compare themselves in that aspect.
And then they laughing at you. Like, and
now
I'm embarrassed. Yeah. Like, she was in the red. That bitch is trifling. Like, she's
not helpful for the team.
Absolutely not.
Girl,
but like,
yes.
What are other ways that we compare ourselves? Like, what do you think?
If it's not,
so we talked about social media. We talked about like friends, coworkers,
relationships. Have you compared yourself in a relationship?
For sure.
Explain, dive deep.
So my boyfriend and I have been together a long time. It's about to be 10 years next week. So we've been together since we were teenagers.
Dang. Yes. Oh, you did say that earlier.
Yeah, so we've been together since we were teenagers. And again, I feel like that kind of coincides with like what we were talking about earlier about people like getting married or having a house. And I'm like, yeah, we're not there yet. But the thing is that we never said that was what we wanted. Like, we never said like, yes, we know we want to get married. We know we want to live together. We know we want children. But we were never the couple that was like, when we graduate, we're going to get married. We're going to do this. Like, we was like, nah, like, we'll live our life. And then, as time flows, we'll get engaged, we'll get married, like we'll enjoy life together. Like, we've been together long enough. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, dang, like, especially now, I feel like a lot of people are like engaged, moving or having babies. And I'm just like, It's like, it's difficult, because when you're in a relationship for 10 years, you're starting to feel like, am I doing the right thing? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, even though everyone has their time frame and I'm not ready for kids now, I'm not ready for marriage now, I still feel like, am I doing the right thing? Like, am I, like, is it weird that I'm waiting?
I don't think it's weird. Yeah. I think it's beautiful that you guys are just going on your own path and taking your time with everything. A lot of people also, because of their comparison to others, they're rushing into things. You know, and then they end up not being together. They end up having a baby and not like being together. Yeah. So now you have commitment to another human being, and you have to deal with that person. So I don't think that's weird. Yeah. Again, we need more compassion to ourselves. Like, we have to be compassionate. We have to give ourselves our own flowers, take into consideration our own milestones, and celebrate our small wins with everything in life. And that's what I'm truly starting to learn. Because I used to compare myself when I was in badass relationships, though. Like, I'll compare myself like, dang, like, the person that I used to date, I used to date some crazy ass guys, but like, they would not, like, before, they wouldn't take me out on dates. They wouldn't do anything. We were just having a whole bunch of sex. This was way back when, though, with this guy. And I used to compare myself like, dang, like, why are we not going on dates? I didn't go on dates with him until like the very end of our relationship, where things were starting to go really well, and then it's just deaded off. But yeah, I used to compare myself in that way, and
But like you said, comparison is a thief of joy.
It is.
But then sometimes, you know, comparison can help you reflect, because that's what we talked about like earlier in the episode. Like, when you see someone else is doing well, you reflect on yourself, because you're not like, oh, I don't think that you should have that, but you're like, what am I doing that I'm not at that place? So then, like, you know, a relationship that may be toxic, or a relationship, like you said, I mean, it's still toxic. Like,
I go on dates now.
Where you're not where you're not going out. Shit. You're like, you see other people going out, and you're like, okay, so this is like a standard for relationships, but somehow it's not a standard in mine.
Right.
Why? Why is that?
That is true.
It's not like I want your nigga.
Right.
But it's more so like, why isn't my nigga doing this? Maybe I need to drop this nigga.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That is so very true.
So sorry.
No.
No, I'm just saying, like, sometimes comparison can be helpful.
I agree. And so I guess that's in terms of, with comparison, it has to be balanced with comparison. We have to have balance in everything that we do, because some comparison can fuel us to be more ambitious and make more goals for ourselves and accomplish things, because we want to be not necessarily where they are, but we want to be up to speed, or we want to get to where we want to get to. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So you're right about that. That's true.
Yeah. And I think
I definitely, because that was a relationship way, like, maybe like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. So I definitely have, after that relationship, I have more like things I want out of a man, and because I know I give a lot, so I definitely need that reciprocation back.
Yeah, I think reciprocation.
We're not just having sex out here alone.
Absolutely,
that's ghetto.
Absolutely,
we don't give out pum pum or kisses.
Yeah, and I think
for free.
It's like, we're not. But I think that the most important thing is that we understand that comparison can, you let it drive you, and you let it drive you in one direction or the other. Like we said, it's either it drives you in the sense of, you're like, okay, so let me reflect and let me be better, or it's like, no, bitch, you shouldn't have that. I want that you have. And it's important that, that's envy, but still, comparison can make people envious.
That is true.
And we don't, we want you guys to know that it's important that you don't do that. Like, it's just, comparison is a real feeling. It's normal. It's okay. But then it's like, when you compare yourself, what do you do with that emotion?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't let that emotion drive you too much where you become envious.
Yeah.
And then now you want what the other person has. Absolutely. Instead of trying to have something for yourself.
So, Bree, are there any closing remarks that you'd like to make about this topic?
Yeah. So to our listeners, I would like to say that you guys are all on your own journey. Try not to compare yourself, even though it's easier said than done, because you don't know where that person or what that person did to get to that place. So you don't ever see the behind the scenes of their life or what's happening. So give yourself more compassion. Like, I'm trying to give myself more compassion. I'm trying not to compare myself to others. I'm trying to not take things personal and just go with the flow of life. So I say, do the same thing.
And I say, comparison can be the thief. Comparison can be the thief of joy. So don't let it make a thief of your joy.
Yes. And also, healthy comparison is a good thing, because it builds up your ambition, makes you want to get more goals, accomplish more things. So everything is all within balance.
Right. And it's normal.
Yeah, it's normal to compare yourself. So don't beat yourself up if you're starting to compare yourself to others. It's more so, what are you going to do with that comparison energy?
Yeah.
How are you going to use it in your life to push forward?
Yeah. So, as we're talking about comparison, the last and final segment that's the same thing, but the final segment that we're going to get into is our audacious as fuck segment. So we have not explained it well enough, but we're going to try again. And, as episodes continue, we'll continue to say what it is.
It's a progress.
So the audacious as fuck segment can be people being bold. Sometimes Bree and I will share stories of our past employers or coworkers being bold as fuck. Even, some other circles that we've been in where people were bold as fuck.
Friends, relationships.
Yep. Or it'll be things that we see online. Mm-hmm. So this week, the Audacious as Fuck award goes to one of my old coworkers. So, as we're talking about comparisons, and I know that people have been kind of waiting for this, where I talk about my shitty old firm job where I was a paralegal. So, at that job, the same love of my life that I met there, my coworker, my work wife, when she was getting hired, I was there for that process. And, it was between her and this other guy who had more experience than her. So she was like me. She had no experience in the field, but she was very capable and she was very driven. So they liked that. But one of the things that and then the other guy, he had experience and he worked for a firm where he was getting paid bazooka money. So their top line was his bottom line. Or I don't even think their top line was even his bottom line. It was probably more than that. His bottom line was higher than that. Mm-hmm. So when they were thinking about hiring him or her, they were talking about how if they knew that he wouldn't accept the job because he knew that he wasn't going to make the salary that he wanted, and they didn't want to pay him the salary that he wanted. So they were they really hope that my coworker takes the job because she's like me. She is competent with no experience on a budget. So yes, they said that to me.
Wow.
That they would hire her because they knew that she was capable, but they knew that they wouldn't pay her well enough. And sure enough, she fucking negotiated her shit. So their bottom line was not her bottom line, and she got the money that she deserved. Kudos to her. But it was just ironic that, they felt comfortable to even say that to me. And I said, they knew that they were lowballing me, and they admitted that to my face. So that was the audacious as fuck portion for this week.
The audacity, bitch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they admitted that to your face. There
were so many
unprofessional.
things.
That's very unprofessional.
But it's when you work for a small company, they feel like they can say and do whatever they want. So it was just one of those things, unfortunately.
Negotiate yourself at work.
Yes.
Push for yourself.
When they give you a price, never say yes.
Yeah.
Always
never say
higher.
yes the first time. Mm-hmm.
Go higher. Even if the price that you're negotiating, you're not going to get paid, think about what your bottom line really is and go higher from that.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy.
It was really ghetto there. And there are more stories to come. So we thank you guys for listening to episode 3. We love you guys, and bye ho.
Bye, besties.